Alright, welcome to the episode of the Nighttime series. This one's gonna be very rushed because right now I'm currently watching the Super Bowl. It is the halftime show right now, and I don't really care about the halftime show. So I was like, okay, may as well just record the nighttime episode right now because I just want to watch the football part, right? So yeah, very late, very rushed episode today. But today I want to talk about the agenda of Relics and just Kabam's plan with them so far and the community's reaction to it because it's been very split. A lot of the community isn't really down with it. But I just want to go over what I think Kabam's plan is and how the community should feel about Relics. And I also want to talk about the Super Bowl because it's halftime right now and it's not looking too good for a certain team. But yeah, let's just not waste any time. Let's get into it. So Relics have made their way into the contest, and right now the community's reaction so far is just a big whopping meh. A lot of people don't really care about them. They're pretty not impactful for most champions, and especially at a low 3-star or 4-star level, they really just don't do that much for your characters, right? However, there is a prestige part of them, and that's where they start to really matter. If you want to be in a high prestige alliance, you need to focus on Relics, and you really need to focus on them. 5-star Relics are huge for prestige, right? They add such a massive amount of prestige, and they'll get you into top 10, top 20 alliances. So yeah, Relics so far are just prestige machines and pretty much nothing else. They're pretty good because of the striker function, but also it takes a long time to get to the striker function in the first place because you need 2 bars of power to get to the striker function in the first place, right? And I just feel overall at a low level, a 3-star or 4-star level, they just aren't really that impactful. But at a 5-star or 6-star level, that's when they start actually having some impact. But it's so rare to get the 5-star version, and the 6-star one is literally impossible. I feel like it's gonna take a lot of battleground seasons or just a ton of spending to get the 6-star relics, and then you have to awaken them as well to actually be useful. There's just a lot of problems with the relics so far, and it's the very early stages of them, right? So of course they won't be that impactful. But I feel once we get the 6-star relics, then they'll start having an impact on the game. But as it stands right now, they are pretty useless besides a few. But I want to save that for another episode because there are some champions that are just broken with relics, and I want to address that because they all happen to be pretty new characters. But that's for the next nighttime episode probably. Right now I just want to talk about the agenda that is relics and just Kabam's plan with them and how the community is reacting to them, because I'm on the MCOC Reddit a lot, and I see the overwhelming majority of the players do not care about relics, and they hate that in the side event the rewards for relics are so prevalent, right? There's just they're scattered everywhere in the side event. The whole objective things are now for relics mainly. But the bad part is they're for relics, and they're also there also is some pretty good rewards sprinkled in there as well. So you have to care about the relic part because you have to do that objective to get access to the big objective that offers the non-relic reward. So I feel that's where the problem stands within the community, and they feel it's annoying that they have to indulge in some relic stuff to get access to other rewards. And I can understand that, but relics aren't even that bad in my opinion. Sure, they're pretty useless right now because the rewards for the relic stuff in the side event is just a bunch of 3-star stuff for the most part, and 3-star relics are pretty worthless. The 4-star ones kind of worthless as well, except for a few that are just really broken on some characters. But the 5-star ones are pretty valuable, but we get pennies worth of shards for the 5-star relics in each side event. It's quite unfortunate, and I just wish there was more stuff there for relics in the side events, because if they want to force feed us relics, at least force feed us a good amount, right? Because they aren't really doing that so far, and I think that's what the community is mad because we get pennies worth of stuff for relics in the side event, and instead of that, people would rather have more champion shards or more champion catalysts. But Kabam said that they haven't reduced the amount of champion stuff rewards. They've just added the relic stuff on top of it. But I feel the community still doesn't care about relics anyway. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts because for me, relics, there are some that I really, really want, but then I get them and then I realize, okay, these do almost nothing to the character. I tried so hard to get the Juggernaut relic from Mangog, but then when I played with it, it was a barely noticeable difference, man. And I have a rank 4 Mangog, so it should be a pretty noticeable difference, but it just wasn't. So yeah, it's just a bit disappointing how relics are a bit of a letdown so far. I imagine 6-star relics in the future are just going to be massive, right? But so far, the Kabam agenda is just like pushing the very low tier relics, which do pretty much nothing except for give some prestige. So that's like the unfortunate part. And I can understand why the community is like mad about relics and why they feel like it's just super worthless right now, because it is worthless right now, but it won't be worthless in the future. This is just like Kabam's initial testing of relics, and I just wish they like kind of hurried it up a bit, because I don't know. I feel like the people who complain about it like being too irrelevant will complain about it being like too relevant, right? So yeah, I just feel like Kabam can't really win this, and I just don't know how they're gonna approach this like going forward, I mean. But yeah, overall, relics, I just have to like address it because, you know, people seem to complain about like the relics and side events and all that. For me, I just feel like I just pretend it's not there. I do the objective for like a little bit of fun, but then I realize, yeah, these rewards are pretty useless. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on relics. Now let's talk about the Super Bowl. So it is currently 14-24, and the Eagles are winning, and it looks like it's gonna stay that way. The Eagles are just like stomping these guys, man. The Chiefs got lucky with like a fumble recovery touchdown, and that's about all they've done so far. They had one good drive in the beginning, but besides that, it is rough. It is rough for them, man. I feel pretty bad. Like, I wanted a very good game, but this is just like kind of an unfair game, because I feel like the Eagles are just dominating them, man. Like, the time of possession has been crazy. Like, the Chiefs have had the ball for 8 minutes, and the Eagles 22. That is a major difference in time possession. Like, Eagles are just like really being the more dominant team right now. I really don't see how the Chiefs can turn this around unless they just like pull something like out of their hat. So I don't know. I'm feeling a bit off about this. Like, at least it's not like the college football championship, right? That was like a 56-8 game or something like that. It was like something very, very sad. Hopefully it doesn't turn into that. I just want like a pretty close game. I am going for, I don't know, man. I don't know who I'm going for. I guess I'm going to go for the Eagles just because like I want them to win, so at least the 49ers could like lose to the champs, right? Because that like softens the blow a little bit more. Like, I'm a 49ers fan. I love the 49ers, and the way we went out is just so unfortunate. Like, we lost because we just got injured so quickly. Like, a lot of our players just got injured so fast, and that was just our downfall. But still, you can't knock the 49ers, man. Like, their season was incredible. Like, Brock Purdy really proved himself. But I'm going off topic, man. That's like, I'm talking about the 49ers winning the Super Bowl. But yeah, the Chiefs, they are doing, they're doing things, man. They're not necessarily good things, but they're doing them. But like, the first drive that they had was very good. The Eagles have just been playing so good, except for the fumble recovery. Like, that fumble that they did was pretty, like, I thought, I got a bit scared because, like, dang, so this can be a pretty close game, huh? But then after the fumble recovery, the Eagles just like went haywire, and now it's a like pretty dominant game by them. So yeah, that's the Super Bowl so far. I do wonder who's gonna win. Like, who, you never know, right? You never know with these games. Like, you know, Patriots did like a 8-point comeback against the Falcons in the Super Bowl like a couple years ago. That was pretty insane. So you just never know with these games, right? I don't know. The Super Bowl is just very fun. I am sad that the NFL season is ending though, but you know what? This one was very fun overall. This was a very good season, a very crazy season. Like, you know, history was made a lot this season, like the Minnesota Vikings comeback against the Colts, things like that. There's just like a ton of like very crazy things that happened this season. But yeah, should be a fun game. Hopefully it like turns out a little bit better than how it's going right now. And yeah, so that's about it for me. Didn't really have much to talk about today. I am saving some stuff for some future episodes because like we're approaching the 50th episode already. We're like a 20 or so days off, which is like, seems like a lot, but it really isn't, right? Like, that's crazy. I love this series so much, so I'm like happy that it's been going on for like a month now already. Definitely my favorite series to do on the channel. I like how like it has a smaller like range of views because it just feels like a more close video, like a more close community there. So yeah, I'm really happy with the series so far, and let me know your thoughts on like the relics, on like just relics in general, on Kabam's plan with them, if you like trust their plan with them, and let me know your thoughts on the Super Bowl. Let me know who you think's gonna win, and yeah, that's about it for me.